Alright everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we are taking a look at subtracting with fractions. So let's dive right on in. Rules, same as our previous video with adding fractions. Same thing, however, the only difference is that we're subtracting. So you can only subtract if you have common denominators. Remember, our numerator is on top and our denominator needs to be the same. So if I have like 1/3 minus, just for example, like 3/6 or something like that, let's make it let's make this 2/3 and 1/6. This we cannot subtract because these denominators are not the same, so we have to make them common. If they are different, make the same. We have to either simplify or unsimplify. From there, only the numerator changes. And then if we have an improper fraction to start, we have to change our answer. Like if we get it, we'll end up changing to a mixed number. If we have an improper fraction to start, that's okay. We can always, simplify as we need to. So a couple things to remind. Can't remember if I went over these in the last video, but the terms to simplify or unsimplify. Simplify means, if you remember our like our pizza diagram, technically the more parts are there, that means there are more slices, but those slices are getting smaller and smaller. So what we're doing is we have to figure out an equivalent fraction, a fraction that it's equal to, that is more simple. So sometimes they give us clues as to 12 and 3, and so we have to remind ourselves our operations. So in this case, I'm going from 12 to 3, and I have to think about 12 divided by what gets us 3, or I can think of 3 times what gets us equal to 12. So if I divide by 4, and let me do that in a different color, we divide by 4, and whatever we do to our numerator or denominator, we have to do to the other. So we have to divide also by 4. And when we do that, 20 divided by 4, we end up with 5. So 12/20 is equivalent to 3/5. We simplified it. We made it a whole lot easier to digest. This would have a lot smaller slices. 3/5, it's pretty easy to cut up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so 3/5 would be like that. So that would be to simplify. To unsimplify is what we've been actually doing for the past couple lessons now, where we're thinking of 4 times what would get us 16. So 4 times 4 gets me 16, and what I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. So I also multiply by 4, and I make my secret 1. What's kind of happening here is we're doing like 3/4 times 4/4. 4/4 is just equal to 1. But when we multiply 3 times 4, we end up with 12. So 3/4 is equivalent to 12/20. And the more you practice it, the better you will get. So two examples, and then I am done. So we have to remember our rules, and if you need to go back here and pause while you are working out your problems, go ahead, do it. So we've got exercise 1. We have 5/6 minus 1/3. So we have to recognize a couple things. 1, our denominators are not the same. 6 is not the same as 3. So that means we have to change, and we have to figure out what we're going to do. 5/6, we're going to box because we can't divide 5 into anything to get 1. It doesn't work that way. So that means we have to change our 1/3. So I'm going to back off a little bit, and I'll have 5, 6 over here. And I'm going to go 1/3 is equal to, and the target that we're going to is 6. So I'm going to write that as my new denominator. Now, 3 times 2 would get me 6. And what I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator and make my secret 1. 1 times 2 gets me 2. So now I have to remember that I am subtracting. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to plug my answer in over here. So 5 6 minus 2 6. And when I subtract, same thing. My denominator never changes. I stay here. And all I am thinking about is 5 minus 2, which gets me 3. So my answer is 3/6. If you want to simplify this even more for an equivalent fraction, we can divide 3 by itself and 6 by 3. And that gets me 1/2. This is when we are simplifying to the most simple fraction. But this is a lesson ahead, but giving you a little bit of snapshot of where we're going. Our last example, we have 2/3 minus 1/6. So again, I have to think about which one I change. I can't change 1/6 any more than that. So I'm going to box this. I don't touch it. So I need to go 2/3, and my target that I'm trying to go for is up to 6. So 3 times 2, that gets me 6. And what I multiplied to the denominator, I have to do to my numerator. 2 times 2 gets me 4. So now I can write my new fraction, 4/6 minus 1/6. My denominators never change when we're subtracting. And I'm just looking at this top. 4 minus 1 gets me 3. And I have the exact same answer. 3/6 is equal to 1/2. And how I got that, I can divide by 3, and I can divide by 3, and I end up with 1/2 in its most simplest form. So that is subtracting fractions. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.